It is the night of May 28, 1453. The walls of Constantinople tremble under the thunder of Ottoman cannons. For more than 1,000 years, this city, once the jewel of Rome, has stood as the guardian between East and West. But by dawn, it will fall. And with it, the Byzantine Empire. But what if it didn't? What if Constantinople held? What if the Byzantine Empire never fell? The Byzantine Empire, also called the Eastern Roman Empire, was the continuation of Rome itself. For over a millennium, it stood as a crossroads of trade, religion, and power. A blend of Roman governance, Greek philosophy, and Christian theology. It survived invasions, plagues, and political intrigue until the Ottomans finally breached its walls. But imagine another timeline. The defenders of Constantinople managed to repel the siege. The empire rebuilds, reforms, and reclaims its place as a great power. How would our world look if the Byzantine banner still flew over the Bosporus? To understand the ripple effect, we must first know what the Byzantines were. They were masters of diplomacy. They wove alliances, bribes, and marriages into an art form. They were guardians of knowledge. When Western Europe descended into the Dark Ages, Byzantium preserved Greek science, Roman law, and early Christianity. They were innovators in military technology. Greek fire, a weapon that burned even on water, terrified enemies for centuries. But they were also fragile, plagued by civil wars, stretched thin between East and West. By the 15th century, the empire had been reduced to a shadow of its former glory. Yet if Constantinople endured, that shadow might have reignited. In our history, the Ottoman Empire rose from Constantinople's ashes. It dominated the Eastern Mediterranean, controlled trade between Europe and Asia, and shaped geopolitics for centuries. But in a world where Byzantium survived, the Ottomans might never achieve such dominance. Europe's path to global exploration could be different. After all, it was the Ottoman control of trade routes that pushed Spain and Portugal to seek the sea path to Asia. Without Ottoman supremacy, would Columbus have ever sailed west? Would the Age of Discovery have even begun? Step 1. The Siege of 1453 fails. Perhaps European reinforcements arrive in time. Perhaps Greek fire turns the Ottoman fleet to ash. Constantinople survives. Step 2. The Byzantines rebuild. They secure alliances with Western kingdoms, promising unity between the Catholic and Orthodox churches. Trade flourishes once again across the Bosporus. Step 3. The balance of power shifts. Without control of Constantinople, the Ottomans remain confined to Anatolia. The Byzantine Empire, though weakened, becomes the central player between East and West. Step 4. The Renaissance accelerates differently. In our world, the fall of Constantinople scattered Greek scholars across Europe, fueling a rebirth of classical knowledge. But if Byzantium remains, those scholars stay in Constantinople. The Renaissance may not blossom in Florence, but in the Queen of Cities itself. Here lies the turning point. If the Byzantine Empire thrived, Christianity itself might look different today. Would the Catholic and Orthodox churches reunite under one banner? Would Europe rally under a shared spiritual and political center, centuries before nation-states even emerged? And here's the question to you. Would a stronger, united Byzantine world have led to greater peace, or even greater wars? With Constantinople alive, the map of the world shifts. Trade between East and West stays centered in the empire, slowing Europe's rush to the seas. Colonial empires, Spain, Portugal, Britain, may rise centuries later, or never at all. Without European conquest, civilizations in the Americas, Africa, and Asia might follow completely different paths. And Byzantium, with its unique blend of Roman law and Christian theology, could spread eastward into the Middle East and south into Africa. Imagine a Byzantine colonial age, cross-shaped banners planted not in Europe's name, but in Rome's Second Empire. Historically, the Ottoman conquest reshaped the Middle East, turning Istanbul into the center of Islam for centuries. But in this alternate world, Islam would not be eclipsed, but redirected. The Middle East might fracture into rival states, unable to unite without an Ottoman heart. Meanwhile, Byzantium, rooted in both East and West, would serve as a mediator, perhaps even preventing the centuries of conflict between Europe and the Islamic world. Or, perhaps, it would ignite them on an even larger scale. Step 5. The Scientific Revolution. Would it happen under a Byzantine empire that prized tradition and theology? Or would knowledge preserved in Constantinople burst forth even faster, guided by Roman logic and Greek inquiry? Step 6. Modern geopolitics. A Byzantine empire enduring into the modern age might stand where Turkey is today, but vastly larger. A Christian superpower bridging Europe, the Middle East, and North Africa. The Cold War might not be America versus the Soviet Union, but America versus Byzantium. The fall of Constantinople was not just the end of an empire. It was the turning of a page in human history. Its survival would have reshaped religion, science, exploration, and empire itself. But history chose a different path. The Ottomans took the city. The Renaissance bloomed in the West, and the modern world we know was born. Yet the question lingers: what if one city had stood a little longer? What if the Byzantine Empire never fell? And if it had endured, would we today be living in a Roman world?